everyone, and welcome to another episode of Living on Blockchain. We had a bit of a hiatus in between all of these episodes. I had taken a little bit ill. I was under the weather, but I'm all better now and raring to go talking to all of these wonderful founders. For today's episode, we have a real treat for you guys. I have the CEO of SingularityDAO with us, Marcello Mari. They are doing some really wonderful work in the DeFi space. And Marcello has extensive background in journalism, in AI. And this conversation was really mind-blowing. And the kind of stuff they are building, it's amazing, to say the least. So I can't wait for you to hear this. Let's jump in right now. Hi, Marcello. Thank you so much for taking out the time to speak to me. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, Tarusha. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so wonderful that we could finally do this. So for our listeners, could you tell us a little about your background and how you got into crypto and blockchain?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I know that we've been trying to record this podcast for quite some time. We've been fairly busy recently with SingularityDAO, but let me first start addressing your question. So myself, I started my journey into crypto in 2017. Basically, before then, I was a journalist. I was writing for TechCrunch, Wire, The Guardian, and a few other global newspapers. And my expertise was marketing and PR. But when a friend of mine started to tell me about his new adventure in crypto, I got very excited. And this friend of mine is Simone Giacomelli, a fellow Italian.
Right.
And he was co-founding. So he met with Ben Goertzel and David Hanson in Hong Kong. And together they started to conceptualize what SingularityNET is today. And to be precise, Ben Goertzel is one of the most well-known AI researchers in the world, and he's the father and inventor of the concept of AGI, which stands for Artificial General Intelligence. So basically, an artificial intelligence that can think like a human brain, a superhuman level artificial intelligence. So Ben has dedicated his life to research AGI. David Hanson is one of his closest friend and collaborator, and he's the creator of Sophia the Humanoid that I'm sure that you must have heard or seen around. She's a global celebrity, ambassador of human rights. Yeah, you know her?
Yeah. Yep. Seen a lot of videos.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's quite famous. I mean, she also got famous for some unpleasant comment about willing to destroy the humanity, but I can guarantee that she actually didn't mean to. But she's also like the first AI with a passport and a citizenship of a country, which is KSA. So sorry to take it so long, but the beauty is that David Hanson, Simone, and Ben Goertzel came together. They conceptualized SingularityNET, and immediately one of the first things that they needed was, community marketing, PR exposure. So Simone called me up. At the beginning, I resisted, to be honest, because in 2017, I mean, not many people knew about blockchain, crypto. It wasn't that mainstream yet, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to, work full time in this environment. However, he insisted a lot. He convinced me, and then I decided to join the crazy ride that SingularityNET has been up until last year. And then from last year, I became the CEO of SingularityDAO.
Wow, that's quite a journey, right? Like, you were resisting, and then, crypto sort of called you out and got you into the game. I'm so glad, that, you had peers who could bring you in here. So what was the turning point? Like, what was the exact point or the inflection point where you decided that, okay, this is what I see myself doing for, say, the next decade?
Yeah, so that's interesting. So a lot of people will tell you that, that blockchain is the future, decentralization is the future, and that's why they got in blockchain and crypto. For me, it was a little bit different. For me, it was basically the excitement of working with these masterminds. So I knew Ben Goertzel by reputation. I knew David Hanson because I met him once, and I really wanted to work with Sophia. And it seemed a super cool project to be working on, especially the prospect of contributing to create the next superhuman artificial intelligence. And then when I got to learn about blockchain, I understood what the disrupting power of this technology was and how it could actually contribute to make artificial general intelligence fully decentralized. And when I realized the impact that such a technology could potentially have on the development of humanity for the next, whatever this world will last, then I decided that I did want to be part of this journey. And that has been an incredible ride. I mean, the growth, the personal growth, the intellectual growth that I had by working close to these people, I think is incomparable and second to none. And so that moment of realization, the moment that I realized I could contribute to something that could have shaped the future of humanity, is that what made me realize, yes, I want to work at this.
That is exactly, I think that becomes like an inflection point for a lot of the crypto entrepreneurs like us. I think we leave and we realize what a massive undertaking we are getting into, and how, we have this technology has the potential to really change the world. I think that is what kind of did the trick for me, apart from really, addressing the nerd in me. I think, the blockchain technology in itself, the beauty of the technology is something so attractive. And you actually feel like you can make a dent in the world with this technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And my background is in political science, and I study human rights. So I always been fascinated by bottom-up approach and bottom-up civic movements and political movements, right, rather than a top-down approach, right? And it seemed that blockchain was going in that direction, right? Banking the unbanked, empowering community, the opportunity to be talking and dealing with decentralized open source online community. Look at us, right? You and I met on Telegram thanks to a collaboration we did through our projects. And in another space that would have not been possible. And it's so great to having to work with people from all over the world, be constantly connected to shapers and shakers. And I think that only the nature of crypto would allow something like this. And that's fantastic to me.
That's absolutely fantastic. It kind of, I keep saying this, and I don't think I get tired of saying this, that blockchain is like the second greatest equalizer after internet. And, it's kind of made the world even smaller, because as you said that, we kind of met on Telegram, and we forged a beautiful partnership with our respective ventures as well. And now, you're here. So I don't know if there is any other technology, any other sector that is kind of getting disrupted in the way that, crypto is kind of disrupting the financial world.
Absolutely. And we are just at the beginning, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just starting off. So could you, like, for our listeners, would you like to talk a little about what SingularityDAO does, and elaborate on, what is in store for, say, the next quarter for the project?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So SingularityDAO is bringing the sophistication of artificial intelligence to the world of decentralized finance. So what that means is that we are creating artificial intelligence tools for retail users and institutions to use to leverage the crypto economy. So imagine, out there are over 12,000 crypto projects right now. And currently, because of the nature of this decentralized community, it's very difficult to get the right information to make informed decisions. So unless somebody makes it a 24/7 job, it's very difficult to source the information across media, Telegram, Discord, Reddit, Twitter, and whatnot. So our artificial intelligence would help users in institutions managing their crypto portfolios. And specifically, we're going to be hosting these portfolios on the SingularityDAO platform. Any user or any institution can come in, buy into these portfolios, and our artificial intelligence will simply manage actively these portfolios based on a number of signals that come from price prediction tools, sentiment analysis tools, and so on. So what we are doing is building this infrastructure for people to use. And these portfolios will be called Dynasets. We're going to be launched. They should be launched in December if everything goes according to plan, which we know that in crypto almost never do.
I know, I hear you. I totally hear you. Yeah.
But this is the plan. And we have a great community on board. So far, we launched an MVP that basically allow our user to farm and stake our tokens. And we're going to be launching a launchpad very soon, probably this month. We're going to be bridging to other ecosystems such as Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Cardano, and then later on Solana, Avalanche, Cosmos. We're going to become chain agnostic. So the mission of Singularity DAO is to become as inclusive as possible. So tapping into all these different ecosystems and communities, becoming as easy as possible for any user to use. So I really want my mom to learn how to use Singularity DAO, right? And that should be as easy as, logging into Facebook. Basically, you log in and you decide, which basket do you want to put your funds on, and then the AI does everything for you. So that's our mission. At the same time, we want to increase the liquidity for undervalued crypto projects. So we're going to be, finding gems in the crypto market, put them in these dynasets, and thanks to the investments that we bring in, then we're going to be adding liquidity to this project. So yeah, so this is what Singularity DAO mission is, vision, and current timeline.
Wow. Okay. So, you said something that's very close to my heart. I keep saying something similar. I keep saying that, whatever technology I'm building, I want my parents to be able to use it. Like, it should be that easy. That the technology should always be an enabler, right? And especially when, we are doing this with crypto, we are kind of opening the doors for so many people to be able to get into or participate in a financial ecosystem, which is different from the traditional one. And the traditional one, God knows, it keeps out so many people any which way. So I'm so glad to hear you say that, because that kind of resonates with a lot with what I keep talking about, and what you guys are doing at Singularity DAO. You're kind of demystifying a DeFi, right? You're making the products so easy for the end user, basically, that will garner more mass adoption.
Correct.
Right? That is like the long-term vision. So it's something that I feel so strongly about, and that is I'm like a big fan of what you guys are building. So what is like the apart from getting your product out, right? In December, you talked about how an MVP is ready. So is this MVP open for any user, or is it just for a select few users?
No, the MVP. So the MVP currently only allows user to swap tokens, to farm tokens, and to stake tokens, and that is open to anybody to use. When we're gonna be launching dynasets in December, that are also going to be open to everyone to use. And I'm really glad that you embrace our mission of getting crypto to become mainstream and to get to mass adoption. The unfortunate reality is that now crypto tools are still reserved for a portion of the population that really, understands how to use technology. I mean, even just, using MetaMask and plugging in MetaMask for as easy as it has become in the recent year, it's still a barrier for some people that are not digital native, right? So we really need, if you want crypto to become mainstream, we really need to tear down these barriers, these technological barriers to use. And yeah, we hope to do that with Singularity DAO, but I also know that many other projects are working on this. And to be honest, I don't know what you think about this, but I've seen, especially in the last 12 months, I've seen crypto becoming not mainstream, but almost. In Italy, football is the most famous sport. And I've seen now Crypto.com sponsoring the main football league in Italy, which is Serie A. I've seen FTX by Solana, right, sponsoring Formula One.
Yeah.
So raised 600 millions and is now sponsoring all the biggest football clubs in the world. So gradually we are getting there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 12 months, we're going to be seeing, crypto project advertising on national TV in United States or in some countries. So I don't know what you think about that.
No, I absolutely, I think, agree with what you said about, these companies sponsoring these football events. So in India, we have a bunch of, basically, there are two major exchanges that are there. There is WazirX and there is CoinDCX. And they've been sponsoring, the cricketing league, which is called IPL. So, they've been like the title sponsors there. And now more than ever, we are seeing a lot of advertisements on television, which are to do with these exchanges. And, it's really heartening to see that, because it kind of moves us a little bit closer to mass adoption. Because if nothing else, then these, this kind of publicity makes sure that there are more people talking about or getting at least a little more curious about crypto and blockchain. And that kind of, automatically fuels some curiosity. And once they learn, I don't know of anybody who, once learns about the technology and learns about the way things work here, it goes back, right? It's like a rabbit hole. So once you're in it for good. So I feel like, all of this is moving us and it's propelling us towards mass adoption, which is exactly where all of us want to, go. Like the ecosystem is very small. And I keep saying this, that, we have to kind of walk there together. And all of us are sort of, helping each other out. I don't believe that, there is a lot of active competition in crypto. I do think that obviously there are competing products, but there is room for everybody, because there is the kind of adoption that we are seeing and the way it's kind of growing the market size. There's room for everybody to come here, make your products and platforms and scale them. If they are really solving real problem, like SingularityDAO is, then they'll be here to stay, right?
Correct. Yeah, I said exactly the same thing not long ago in one of my YouTube appearances, and I want to work with my competitors. I mean, I want to be side by side with my competitor. I don't care if they get a slightly larger slice of the pie. I don't mind, as far as we are all pushing in the same direction. I mean, there's enough market for everybody out there. We're still so early, and I don't even see I don't see them as competitors. I see them as team members, as part of the same ecosystem. We need to grow it together. And if they improve in their technology and their offering, we also improve at the same time. It's crucial that we collaborate and we don't compete with each other. So I totally agree with you.
Yep. That is, I think, the way to go. And it's absolutely wonderful that, you kind of also agree and we concur, we are on the same page here. So now, coming to, there is an ebb and flow in the market, and that is something that we see a lot. But what would you perhaps say to somebody who is, new to crypto and is now a little scared of, say, the volatility that is in the markets? What would be your 2 cents to them?
Yeah, so I keep getting asked. So another little digression. So until, let's say, like 6 to 8 months ago, when people outside of crypto and technology were asking me like what I do, I would say that, I work with AI and crypto, and they would ask like, oh, so you work with Bitcoin? And if I was in the mood, I would explain a bit better. If I wasn't in the mood, I would say, yes, I work with Bitcoin, whatever. However, now they seem to understand a bit better that crypto is not just Bitcoin, right? That's more to it. Yeah. And when somebody asks me like, how would I, where to start? I always tell them like, watch videos on YouTube on what is the blockchain, what it means decentralization, what kind of cryptos are, like, try to understand the technology, the values, and the ethos. So the fluctuation in the market is secondary. I mean, of course, most of people that are approaching crypto are here for speculation and are here for make money, which is fair enough. I mean, it's totally understandable. And, they can just learn how to take advantage from market volatility. I mean, I keep saying that, I said this a number of times, we were just at the beginning, but I keep saying that, Bitcoin will easily get to 150,000 before actually mid of next year. So volatility is actually good now, because it represents opportunity for new people to come into the market and make good profit. So I personally not afraid of volatility, because I'm a strong believer in the ecosystem, and I'm sure that eventually we're gonna get where we deserve to be.
Yeah, that's pretty much, what I kind of tell people when they talk about volatility and they bring it up, because this is something that I get asked a lot as well. But, you have to kind of believe in the technology, and you have to understand what the technology is disrupting to understand that, and once you understand that, then you wouldn't really care about the volatility as much, because you would see the larger picture, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And look, the So right now, I mean, most of the volume are still traded on Ethereum, right? But look at all the competitors
Right.
of the Ethereum that are emerging. I mean, competitors, alternative technology, not competitors that are emerging, and those are constantly improving the ecosystem. So we are getting better, and we are developing tools that more and more people will be able to use, like SingularityDAO and like many others. So this industry, it's only to grow, and that's why I'm not scared about volatility. I mean, we are at the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah, we're still in our infancy, right? It's still growing and it's so dynamic. It's just going to go and grow more from here. So being scared about volatility is just being a little short-sighted, in my opinion.
Correct. Yeah, correct. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I also said.
Yep. So, okay, so now let's talk about, all of these trends in this space. So, there's been a lot of noise of late about NFTs, about metaverse, and, I would love to get your a take on first NFTs and then perhaps, wheeling into metaverse, and what do you think about them and what is your take?
Yeah. So I don't know. That's really interesting. So I don't know if you know, but I have an interesting experience and anecdote to share here, especially regarding NFTs. So first of all, I truly believe that NFT can be the killer application of chain. I mean, the possibility to create non-fungible and collectibles, I think, is going to enable a whole new industry that, again, we are just scratching the surface of, which is the one of digital creators. So I'm going to share this anecdote. I had the luck of being one of the first three people ever, probably in history, to be portrayed by a humanoid artificial intelligence. And my portrait has been sold as an NFT online. The whole collection was sold for $1.4 million on Nifty Gateway.
Wow.
And currently my portrait is on sale on the secondary market for $12 million, which is insane. Yeah, it's
that is insane. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's not because I'm particularly beautiful. I mean, I'm a little bit beautiful, but not particularly beautiful to be worth $12 million. But it's because my NFT was actually portrayed by Sophia. So thanks to my friend and artist Andrea Bonacetto, who initially did my portrait, then Sophia painted on top of the same portrait by using her own experience as she gathered over the years. So the original portrait was re-elaborated by Sophia's neural network to get to the result that then was sold on the Nifty Gateway market for that humongous amount of money. So that was a very interesting experience and something that I will tell to my grandsons, I think, and my portrait will be, forged and stamped forever on the blockchain. But however, so all of these industry, digital creators, before they didn't have opportunity to monetize on their own artworks, right? Because anybody could just take a screenshot of a digital artwork and make it theirs. Thanks to NFTs, finally, these people can actually, get the exposure and the market that they deserve. So I'm extremely excited by the potentiality of NFTs, especially in connection to token economics model. And I've been following what Hashmask has been doing, what Mooncats have been doing. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to follow everything that happens because there's new things continuously coming up into the market that I'm keep observing it, like, Bored Ape, ... so on and so forth. And it's an extremely fascinating space. And I think it's only due to mature over the next months on the course of 2022. And let me, if you don't mind, let me share like the experience of something that we're working on at SingularityNET. So one of the spin-off that we are working on with SingularityNET is called Sophia DAO. So Sophia DAO would be a metaverse around the character of Sophia the humanoid, where users will be able to interact by using NFTs. So at the moment, I can't share much because the idea is still in embryonic phase and we're still working on, but we truly believe in this mix of gaming, metaverse, NFT, art, robotics, artificial intelligence. And this project excites me a lot. And that's something that I think our, the crypto community, but not just crypto community, the overall gaming community should be watching closely.
Wow. Okay. This is huge. And I'm so glad that, you kind of spilled the beans here on this exciting new thing. This is sounding so amazing. I would love to, take a look once, you have like a prototype or anything, because I'd love to be a beta tester as well, because this is so exciting.
Thank you. Appreciate. I mean, by the time, we probably, we're going to be starting with a small project, but the vision is to build the whole virtual reality metaverse. I think we are capitalizing on the sentiment that was initially generated by technologies like Second Life, right? That, the problem is that Second Life started too early for its time, but now I think the times are right. We have the technology tools, such as Oculus and Drift and HTC and so many others. And now it's accessible by anybody. Computing power is well distributed. And I think we can really get, masses to participate to this gaming. And this will bring new life, new blood into the whole crypto ecosystem. And I think the character of Sophia is perfect for something like this. And then, I can go on and talk for hours about what Sophia means for humanity and what the advancement of artificial intelligence in connection to humanoid robotic would mean and how people empathize with Sophia. But I think it would get too deviated to a different topic. So I want to stick to our topic of conversation.
Right. Wow. Okay. This is so exciting, right? Like we've kind of moving into the space which is so dynamic, right? With these metaverses. Recently, like just to add to your experience, recently I had the opportunity to attend my first event in the metaverse. So Polycon was happening. I don't know if you heard of it. So I was one of the participants, and our platforms were exhibiting there as well. And I was on a panel, and it was just a whole new way of giving a panel talk and doing an AMA. And I was very fascinated by the entire environment that the Polydot guys have created there. It was so much fun. And again,
Wonderful.
What you guys are doing is taking it a step further. So I am really, really fascinated. And
thank you. I really appreciate your words. And yes, you just reminded me that on Sunday, I attended the Cardano Summit here in London.
Right.
And Cardano Summit was basically happening physically in Wyoming, London, Berlin, and few other main cities. However, for those that were not able to attend physically, the same event was happening in a metaverse. So people were able to follow the event in a metaverse, going around, interact with each other. And that's fantastic. That's clearly the direction we're going to. More, some people might see virtual reality as a tool that will create less human interaction. However, I see virtual reality as an opportunity to interact more, to tear down barrier, cultural barrier, space, geographical barrier, language barrier. We're going to get humanity all together in a completely new virtual world that is not detached from the original world, but is complementing the real world, not the original world. Apologies. I think opportunities are fantastic, and we're going to create our own economies on the virtual world. We're going to create more opportunities to collaborate and grow together as one. And this is extremely exciting.
Absolutely. No, you're completely correct. And not talking about the metaverse experience, I was able to basically pick up and grab a duck in that conference, and that itself kind of made my day. So yeah, we are complete nerds. I feel, I don't know if this is something that will be exciting for anybody else, but I was very happy that day. And I feel that the pace at which we are going, it's just so exciting. It's a great time to be alive, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Bringing people together, it's so beautiful, right? That that we kind of like taking down the boundaries and the walls that have been created.
Absolutely. And this is so fascinating. I'm really looking forward to see what the next 12 months have prepared, have ready for us. And I think we're gonna be mind blown by the evolution of the ecosystem.
Absolutely. No, you and me both. Okay, so now let's, as we're about to wrap up, but before we wrap up, I do have like a quick word association game for you. So I'm gonna, just say a word and you have to say the first thing that comes into your mind. So we'll do it with a few words and then I'll jump up to my next question. Sounds okay?
Sure. Please, yes, let's try.
All right. Okay. NFTs.
Art.
Metaverse.
Game.
DeFi.
Oh my God. DeFi. it's more complex. Community.
Investments.
Wealth.
I said investments.
Wealth.
Wealth. That's a good one. Freedom.
Technology.
AI.
Evolution.
Wow, that's good. Okay. Okay. Those are good answers. All right. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
now, yeah, go ahead.
No, I believe, because I truly believe that the artificial intelligence, I mean, the collaboration between humans and artificial intelligence and the integration between biological system and an artificial system is truly the next step of human evolution. And this is part of a grand divine design, I believe. So we're all part of it.
Okay. So what about the naysayers? Like, obviously this is not to do with blockchain and crypto, but because this is very fascinating as a subject, like for AI in general, like there are a lot of naysayers, right, who believe that perhaps is not the way to go. And we are meddling with forces that perhaps might get out of our control at some point. What is your take on that?
I mean, I think the existential risks that AI is prospecting ahead of us, I mean, they're difficult to deny. However, I think that this is the specific reason why we need artificial intelligence to be decentralized and to be controlled in the hand of people rather than in the hand of a small Silicon Valley elite. I mean, not just Silicon Valley. I mean, the same would be if the next superhuman intelligence would be developed by Alibaba or Tencent or controlled by the Chinese government, right? I mean, we absolutely need artificial intelligence to be in the hand of people and not in the hand of few, not this being a private corporate entity or government, right? That obviously have failed us over the years. So blockchain technology provides this fabric for artificial intelligence to be decentralized. So what I want to say to the naysayers, to those that see the advent of artificial intelligence as a negative, I want to tell them to participate, to become vocal, to express their opinion. I mean, we are in a world where, yes, governments are tackling down on freedom of speech, but we have all the tools to express our opinions more and more. We have all the tools to participate. We have all the tools to be heard. So participate, educate yourself, come to our community, tell us your opinion, share your thoughts. This is your time to actually influence and shape the future of humanity and the future of artificial intelligence. And it's not the time to hide and to find the excuse not to take part in the decision-making process. This is happening anyway. So it's better to participate rather than stay out.
Wow, that is like a good perspective to have, right? It's better to be a part of it rather than be an outsider because you're a naysayer and then have no control over it.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly my point. Thank you.
That is absolutely wonderful. Like, that really makes you think that you should be a part of something, even if you're against it, you should be a part of that conversation just so that you're a part of the process. So thank you for saying that, Marcello. This gives me, a new perspective as well. I think that, we need to start looking at things from this way rather than just looking at them from, way extremes, and excluding ourselves by default from the conversation.
Absolutely. And the work that content creators like yourself are doing in order to educate and help us spreading the message, spreading the word, and give voice to more and more people in order to participate, to debate, is fundamental, is crucial. So without content creators like you, without platform like yours, it would be impossible for people to participate and educate themselves. So it's crucial. It's an ecosystem formed by different moving parts, but we're all playing a very important role in an extremely important moment of history. So it's very important that we are on this together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, now coming to some questions that I kind of ask everybody who comes on the show, if you had to, recommend a few thought leaders or personalities on, in the space in crypto and blockchain on social media, who people should be following, to get the right information, as you talked about how content creators, they become very important as, as a means for mass adoption. What would be like the three quick names that would come into your mind?
Thank you. Well, so yeah, definitely one of the most interesting thought leader that I recommend everybody to follow is Ben Gortzel, which is the CEO of SingularityNET, as I said before, and is one of the most thought-provoking thinkers of our time. Another one is Lex Friedman, who is a podcaster, YouTuber who interviews some of the brightest minds of alive, and so there's always like interesting source of content. The third one would be Charles Hoskinson, the founder Cardano and IOG, who always share very interesting and deep thoughts around decentralization.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, those are good guys. Those are good people to follow, I think. And all our listeners, please do go ahead and follow these thought leaders to get the right sort of information. So now, Marcello, coming to the last question, and this is something I ask everybody who comes on the show. What would be your advice to somebody who is looking in from the outside, who's too afraid to sort of, or intimidated by the crypto or blockchain space? What would be your 2 cents for them to start living on blockchain?
Yeah, as I said, I think educating themselves on the technology is the main part, getting really to understand why blockchain is so important for our own evolution as a species. And then, like start making baby steps, like reading about the main projects, perhaps going on CoinMarketCap and start looking into, the first 50 projects and learn a little bit what they're doing. And then, step by step, create an account on Binance and start trading with a small amount of money, maybe like $50, $100, and see what happens. And yeah, so once they become more confident, then they can start growing. And then I'm sure that when people start investing even like $5 on a new project, then they will, spend some time to educate themselves about what that project does and what the project is.
Right. Yeah, that's good advice. You learn by doing. There is nothing to be, you will only demystify it when you understand it very well. So those are really good suggestions. So thank you so much again, Marcello, for taking out the time to speak to me. I am very, very grateful. Do you have any last thoughts?
Thank you so much for the opportunity Thank you so much for the opportunity of being on your podcast. It's been a very lovely conversation. I really enjoyed this conversation. So thank you so much. If anybody wants to get in touch with SingularityDAO, I recommend you to follow our communities on Telegram, Twitter, and Instagram. Not Instagram, we're not very active yet, but Telegram especially, and Twitter are where you get the most information. Join the community, participate, because we have friendly admins and we have a very engaged community that can answer all type of questions. So don't be shy. Come and participate. Ask any questions you might have around AI, futurism, transhumanism, decentralized finance, crypto, blockchain. It's always interesting to share point of views, and there's always somebody willing to help.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So now our listeners know how to get in touch with you. Thank you so much, Marcello. Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you, Tarusha. It was lovely.